Thanks, Aaron. Governor Kathy Hochul announced that the city of Binghamton will be receiving $10 million to revitalize a shabby city street. Tona's Keith Savage is live in the neighborhood to tell you all about what the city can look forward to.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm here at Clinton Street as local officials gather to discuss the money Governor Hochul has dedicated to the southern tier.
This city will receive a $10 million funding grant as part of the state's round 8 of our downtown revitalization program, and that is the city of Binghamton.
The city of Binghamton is looking to make major improvements to the Clinton Street neighborhood, some of which includes expandable affordable housing and enhanced public infrastructure.
$10 million, we will have a chance to write our own chapter in the history of Clinton Street and the history of the city of Binghamton. The time is now. We can't wait to get started and kick off this revitalization program simply that First Ward residents deserve.
Mayor Jared Cram praised the history of the neighborhood. After staying in the old Union Hotel, he realized that Clinton Street had great potential to be amazing.
With its historic bones, walkable footprint, affordable neighborhoods, and place in our region's urban core, I thought to myself, Clinton Street really is our community's best kept secret.
New York Secretary of State Walter Mosley believes this is a crucial addition to the city.
The DRI improvements aim to expand affordable housing, which is critical in this housing crisis that we're going through, and something we all know we need quite desperately. It will foster public-private partnerships, local entrepreneurship, as well as grow retail activity, while at the same time retaining cultural and historical heritage of this area.
They also announced that the First Ward Senior Center, that the Village of Bath and the Village of Dryden will both receive $4.5 million. That's all I have here. Now back to you guys at the desk.